Hi, St. Michael's, and greetings to anyone else in our wider community who has become a part of our community during COVID by joining our services online. I am reaching out today to share some really, really good and exciting news. It's coming up really quick, and that is that this coming Sunday, which is July 26th, we have been given permission to gather again for in-person worship. Now, a whole lot needs to be said about this, so buckle up. First is just to say that this is great news because I know that so many of us have been hungering to gather together again at the church for worship. Many of us have been yearning to see our beloved fellow parishioners, to share a time of prayer and fellowship again together. So this is our step towards that. However, of course, we are committed to doing this as safely as we possibly can. And what that means is that this service is not going to be like any other service has been. We're going to follow as many safety precautions as we can to make sure that this is as safe as it possibly can be. So with that, I encourage everybody to not so much think about this as going back to church and getting back to the way that things were, but instead to imagine it more like we're going to bring the way in which we go shopping in the grocery store with us when we come back to church. So think about what all goes into being in the grocery store, and then imagine bringing all of those norms and rules with you as we come together to church. So let me give you an outline about what it looks like. We'll be meeting outside at our garden altar, okay? And when you arrive, we're going to ask everybody to stay 6 feet apart. If there's a line, not to come up and greet people face to face in the line, but to stay 6 feet apart. And we're going to have ushers, vestry members, and also members of our usher team who will be there to greet you. We've packed up our prayer books and our hymnals along with a bulletin in plastic bags, and we've already done that, so they should be completely COVID-free come Sunday. And you can actually take those home with you because they're just sitting in the worship space. And so we are hoping that by giving them to our parishioners that they will find new use. And of course, like the library, you're expected to bring it back when we are gathered together. But you'll be handed a baggie with all of that. Again, observing the 6 feet distance between everybody and not pressing up. Now, additionally, and this is important, we're going to ask everybody to bring 3 things. So we're going to ask you to bring a mask, of course, a chair, as you are able, like a folding chair or a lawn chair is perfect. Bring your own chair from home. And if you wish to bring an umbrella. And the umbrella works in 2 ways. One, if it's drizzly, we'll still meet outside, so you'll probably want an umbrella. However, if it's sunny and hot, you might want an umbrella to keep yourself in the shade. So we're strongly recommending everybody to bring an umbrella, and if you wish to bring your own water as well, to have something to drink whenever it's hot. So these are things that we're asking everybody to bring. Again, a mask, a chair, a light chair, folding chair of some sort, umbrella, water. Okay? And so when you come up and you're then given your books and your bulletin, you'll say, well, what's next? Well, we're going to take that chair, and an usher is going to point to you a place that's already been designated out on the lawn in front of the altar. And you're going to set up your chair there. Sit down and prepare for worship. Each of these spots, of course, is going to be at least 6 feet apart from each other. Families, of course, and couples can sit together. People are sharing the same household, but we want to do our best to ensure that those who have different households don't just all sit on top of each other. And that brings us again to a very, very important thing to remember. It's going to be so difficult, people, but we really, really need to commit to this. Not to just get right up close and to start chatting with people. It's the most instinctive thing to do, and yet we really need to work hard to rethink how we are going to be in this space together. And to remind ourselves that we are doing it for one another's health. that we have each other's health in our hands, and how we behave in this time determines how people we may not even know that well, what their health is like in a few weeks. That's the crazy bind of this time that we're in. So we want to take every step that we can to ensure not just the safety of our parishioners, but everybody that our parishioners come into contact with. So in coming, we are making the following promises. So we're talking about this in terms of promises. First is the promise that you're healthy and that you're well, that you're not feeling well and you don't feel pressured to come to church. Stay home if you're not feeling well. So by coming, you're promising that you're feeling well. Second, you promise to bring your own mask. Please do bring your own mask from home. We will have a very limited number of masks in case anybody forgets, but I hope at this point everybody's used to bringing their mask with them. By coming, you are promising to wear a mask. Cloth mask over the face. If you are in one of those rare cases of someone who is not medically able to wear a mask, if you have doctor's orders not to wear a cloth mask, we will provide for you a shield, one of the screens that goes over your face, and we'll ask you to sit a little bit farther apart from everyone. But everyone is promising to wear a mask if they come to this service. Additionally, everyone is promising to maintain a 6-foot distance from one another. That we're going to observe, again, these boundaries that we have all learned. We're going to bring those with us to church. We're also promising to follow the guidance of our vestry members and our ushers. They will have the deep responsibility of ensuring that these rules of our protection are followed, and we're making a promise to listen to them. We might slip up a little bit, and then it will be the ushers who will point this out to us, and so we promise to listen to them whenever they are providing guidance. And lastly, for those of us with children, is a promise to control our children, that the 6 feet distance applies to everybody, including little ones, because they can, of course, unwittingly carry it from person to person as well. So these are our promises that we're making, just so we have a sense of it. Additionally, there will be no social time before and after church. Of course, you can speak to people at the distance, but the idea is that we're not going to stand around and congregate in the way in which we almost always do every Sunday. Again, this is very, very different because it's not what we're used to. Additionally, there will be no singing. We still are not able to safely distribute the communion wafers, the body of Christ. We will have spiritual communion as we have been doing online. And that brings me to the last point, which is that everything will still be broadcast on Facebook. And we are committed to ensuring that everyone is a part of worship, whether they are at home at their dining room table or on the couch, or whether they are joining us in person on Sunday. So we are all one church, no matter how we are participating. And we will continue to include all of those who are participating online via Facebook. So that's the update. We'll probably give some more communication about this as it goes on, but I want everybody just to get the picture of this before we gather this Sunday, July 26th, for in-person worship, 10 a.m. at the Garden Altar here at St. Michael's. God bless you and yours, and I hope to see you on this Sunday if you're able to come. And if not, I'll see you online on Facebook. Many blessings.